So, Jenny, what have you been called too much of? Can you list it for me?
Too enthusiastic. Spreading myself too thin. Those are the two big ones.
And can you tell us some anecdotes about, when they've been said, the context, who said it, how it made you feel afterwards?
So with too enthusiastic, it's been ever since I was a kid. I've always been told, "Oh, you're too busy, too overexcited," all this kind of stuff. And so in general, I've always taken that as a positive thing. But then lately as well, it's like taking over the crowd. So, them pointing out, "Oh, who's that person that's too enthusiastic in the background?" It's usually me. Again, I still take it as a positive thing, but they're saying it as a bit more of a negative thing. With the spreading myself too thin, that's been lately a lot more of a thing, where a lot of friends from different groups of friends that I have been telling me that I've been spreading myself too thin, which basically means they don't see me enough, or the kind of, even though they're saying it in a passing comment, it's kind of become a thing where they are making me feel a little bit more like I need to change what I'm doing, even though every time I try and change something, it comes back and I prefer not to. So I've realised that I'm trying to make that now into a positive thing by changing how I think about spreading myself too thin, and just trying to kind of make it a more, a good thing, rather than it being, you're spreading yourself too thin. So especially with the spreading myself too thin, it's been like I've been trying to change myself and trying to change what I'm doing and not do certain projects, or trying to kind of work it out in my diary and sort of trying to put it all together as oh well, they don't want me to do certain things, so maybe I shouldn't. Or instead of going one-to-one, which I prefer to do, seeing friends, then having to kind of see them as a group, which then I think is not quality kind of spending time with a friend. But apparently that counts as a quantity thing, where they're actually quite happy with seeing me more, maybe. I don't know. I'm theorising about a lot of these things, but I'm definitely going to kind of try and really adjust, putting in some me time and putting in some positive things for myself, and maybe even slotting in different hours where I can see friends, and that could be as general as seeing a group of friends, or just going, well, actually I'm just going to see that one person, because that's what I need. Also trying to keep it in a positive, with positive energy, and trying to really change. Well, again, I don't want to change, so I don't think I'm going to change. I'm just going to be aware of when they think and why they think I'm spreading myself too thin. It's difficult because I know they're doing it out of the kindness of their hearts, rather than it being a vindictive thing. But it just feels like a bit of a stab in the back is a bit harsh, but it does sometimes feel a little bit like they don't really know me, or they don't really understand where I'm coming from, and that all these things actually do make me happy. So therefore, at the end of the day, that's kind of what they want, right? So I just feel like, I don't know, I think conflicted is maybe the biggest word about how they make me feel, or how it makes me feel.
Yeah, definitely. And if do you think a guy in the same position would have these comments?
I think maybe emotionally I'm taking it harder than a guy would, yes. And I think that maybe, again, theorising, that a guy might not even feel this, or might not even think that spreading yourself too thin is a negative thing. But I don't know. It's the way people say it rather than the actual words that they say, I've realised. So like I said, I feel like they've talked to each other about it, and then have come up to me and been like, actually, you might be spreading yourself too thin. And then I was like, well, I mean, I don't think I am. I think I'm being happy. I think I'm doing a lot of stuff. So, but all the stuff that I do are part of who I am. So, well, too enthusiastic definitely is just a complete power, because it feels like I can kind of bring an energy into the room, and it kind of sparks off other people, and it's a positive thing in every single way. I even though some people can see it as a negative thing, like, oh yeah, who's that person being too enthusiastic? But it's more of a, who's that person being enthusiastic? Because that's how I would take it anyway. So it doesn't really make a difference to me. So I think that's a strength, no matter what way. With spreading myself too thin, I think it's a little bit more. I think it's more difficult, but I think it's one of those things that, again, is a positive thing for me, because I enjoy doing the things that I'm doing. So I feel that it should never be seen as a negative thing, even though it might. I don't really know how to put this into words, because it is one of those things that other people seem to judge me on, rather than I'm judging on myself. So I feel that, again, spreading myself too thin is a very negative way of saying doing a lot of fun things. So I'm going to try and just keep, every time that they say that, maybe that's my alternative of what they're saying. It makes me more energetic. It makes me more positive in general. Like I said, all the different things I'm doing, I get a positive feeling from. So therefore, I feel it is something that is just, you cannot put into words what I am gaining from those words. Even though they're trying to say it negatively, I still think if I change the wording to I'm doing a lot of fun stuff, then that's, again, a positive thing to what I'm doing.
Yeah, absolutely. And the reaction you have to your performances, I'm guessing.
Oh yeah, my performances all go into, of course, life experience and stuff. So even them saying that kind of thing, it's putting it into a creative side and working through all the different elements of dancing, theatre, physical theatre in general, movement, everything is actually a really positive thing.
Absolutely.
Especially with too enthusiastic, never take it as a negative thing. Never, ever. Just for yourself, think, well, that's a positive thing. It's something that I'm going to build on. I'm going to use this enthusiasm in my creative side, in my, in your logical side, whichever way you want to do it. And with spreading yourself too thin, that is something that they think they know about you. So therefore, I never ever think, again, you shouldn't change what you're doing. Maybe just be aware of, those people that might say it because they love you so much and they want to see you more. So maybe put them into consideration a bit more. But as a general thing, I really think just push through the stupid comments and just really make it something positive for yourself at all points.